Discipline is the bridge between goals and success because goals are only destinations you can describe, while success is a destination you can actually reach. And the distance between describing and reaching is not crossed by wishing harder, talking louder, or waiting for a better mood. It is crossed by repeated actions that you do even when the day is ordinary, even when nobody claps, even when motivation is missing, because a goal without discipline is like a plan without movement. It can be beautiful on paper and invisible in real life. Most people don't lack goals. They lack the bridge that carries them from intention to outcome, and that bridge is built from daily choices that look small in the moment but become powerful over time through repetition, because life does not reward what you mean to do. It rewards what you repeatedly do. That is why discipline matters more than talent in the long run, because talent can start fast, but it cannot finish without consistency. And consistency is discipline in motion. Discipline is the ability to do the right thing at the right time without needing the perfect feeling. And this matters because feelings are real but unreliable. Some days you will feel confident, and some days you will feel insecure. Some days you will feel inspired, and some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel strong, and some days you will feel overwhelmed. And if your progress depends on a feeling that changes every few hours, your results will always be unstable, but discipline gives you stability, and stability creates momentum, and momentum makes the next step easier. A disciplined person understands a truth that most people avoid. The most important days are not the days you feel like it. The most important days are the days you don't feel like it, because those are the days you are building identity, and identity determines behavior. Many people think confidence comes first and then action, but in real life action often comes first and then confidence follows, because confidence is not a gift you wait for. It is evidence you collect, and you collect evidence by doing what you said you would do. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you build self-trust, and self-trust becomes the foundation of discipline, because a person who trusts themselves doesn't need constant hype to stay consistent. The opposite is also true. When you repeatedly break promises to yourself, your mind learns not to believe you, and then every goal feels heavy because deep down you don't trust your follow-through. So you keep searching for motivation, new plans, new tricks, and new shortcuts. But the real shortcut is integrity with yourself, the daily habit of doing what you said you would do. Discipline is the bridge because it turns goals from wishes into systems, and systems are what survive real life. Wishes collapse the moment something becomes inconvenient, but systems keep moving because they are planned and protected. That's why people who succeed are not always the people who want it more. They are often the people who organize their life to support what they want by scheduling the work, building routines, reducing distractions, and making the right actions easier to repeat. Willpower is limited, but structure is powerful, and discipline is not only a personality trait, it is a structure you build. If you rely only on willpower, you will lose on the days your willpower is low, and those days will come because life is demanding. But if you rely on a routine and an environment that supports you, discipline becomes less like a battle and more like a standard. That standard is what carries you across the bridge when your emotions are messy. Discipline is also the bridge, because success is mainly the result of compounding, and compounding only works when the action repeats. Compounding is not just money, it's skill, health, relationships, confidence, and reputation. A small improvement repeated becomes a big transformation, but only if you stay consistent long enough for it to add up. Without discipline, you don't compound. You restart. And restarting is expensive because you lose time, momentum, and belief. The beginning is always harder because there's no momentum, and that's why people quit early. They mistake hard at the beginning as impossible. But a disciplined person understands that hard at the beginning is simply the cost of moving something that has been standing still. And once it's moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. That is why discipline often starts small, because small actions are repeatable, and repeatable actions build momentum. The biggest trap people fall into is all or nothing thinking. If I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. But discipline thrives in the mindset that some is better than none, because doing something protects the habit, and protecting the habit protects your identity, and protecting your identity protects your future. The bridge stays standing because you keep walking, not because every step is perfect. Setbacks will happen. There will be sick days, stressful weeks, missed routines, unexpected bills, family emergencies, and moments where you feel off. But discipline is the bridge, because discipline includes return. Winners are not people who never slip. Winners are people who return quickly, and returning is what keeps you moving forward instead of falling back into old patterns for months. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency is correction. Discipline is also the bridge because it builds a mature relationship with discomfort. Most results worth having are built through discomfort because growth demands resistance. Your body gets stronger through resistance, your mind gets sharper through challenge, your skills improve through repetition, your confidence grows through doing hard things, and your income often grows through learning what others avoid. An undisciplined person treats discomfort like danger and uses it as a reason to stop, while a disciplined person treats discomfort like training and uses it as proof they are building something real. That does not mean ignoring health or turning life into punishment. Real discipline is not self-destruction, it's self-leadership. It includes rest, but intentional rest, not avoidance disguised as recovery. Rest that restores you is part of discipline because the goal is long-term success, and long-term success requires sustainability. Burnout is often not caused by discipline. It is caused by inconsistency, going extreme for a short burst and then collapsing for a long time, while discipline creates steadiness, and steadiness creates longevity, and longevity creates mastery. Discipline is the bridge because it forces you to focus on what matters instead of drowning in busy work. Many people are busy all day and still don't get closer to their goal because they confuse activity with advancement, and discipline is the habit of choosing advancement. Advancement is usually one uncomfortable priority that moves the needle. The study session, the workout, the difficult conversation, the budget, the application, the sales call, the creative work, the practice, the deep focus. Discipline is often doing that priority first before the day steals your attention, because if you delay what matters, distractions and urgencies will always win. And then you'll say you didn't have time, when the truth is you didn't protect what mattered. A disciplined person protects time the way a serious builder protects tools, because time is not just hours, it is your life in minutes, and your life becomes what you consistently spend those minutes on. Discipline is also the bridge because it creates reliability, and reliability creates opportunity. The world rewards value, and value is proven through consistent behavior. Showing up, keeping your word, finishing what you start, communicating clearly, solving problems, learning skills, and staying professional under pressure. People can teach you technical skills, but they hesitate to tolerate a bad attitude and unreliable effort. So discipline becomes a competitive advantage because it makes you trustworthy, and trust is currency in career, business, and relationships. Discipline is also the bridge because it strengthens your self-talk, and self-talk shapes behavior. If you keep saying, "I can't," your brain stops searching for how. If you keep saying, "I always fail," you start acting like failure is your identity. If you keep saying, "It's too hard," you treat challenge as a stop sign. Discipline trains you to talk to yourself like a coach instead of a critic. A coach doesn't lie. A coach doesn't pretend the work is easy. But a coach says, "Do the next rep. Return to the plan. One step today. Focus. You can improve," and that internal voice matters because you hear it more than any motivational video. Discipline is the bridge because it gives you control over your attention in a world designed to steal it. Distraction has become normal, and normal distraction produces normal results. Slow growth, inconsistent effort, scattered focus, and constant stress, because your brain cannot build anything deeply when it is constantly switching. Discipline is the ability to protect focus. It is the ability to sit with the discomfort of doing one thing at a time without escaping into easy stimulation. It is also the ability to design your environment so distractions have less power. Putting the phone away during deep work, preparing your workspace, scheduling your tasks, limiting mindless scrolling, choosing your inputs, and being intentional about who you spend time with, because your environment either supports your discipline or sabotages it. Many people blame themselves for weakness when the real problem is set up. Discipline is partly psychological, but it is also practical. It shows up in calendars, routines, boundaries, and preparation. Discipline is the bridge because it connects you to the long game. Most meaningful results require time, and time will pass whether you are building or delaying. Discipline is how you make sure time works for you instead of against you. It is the ability to keep going without immediate reward, to tolerate the delay between effort and outcome, to respect the process even when progress is not yet visible. People quit too early because they measure too soon. They do a week of work and expect a year of results. Discipline is the attitude that says, I will give this enough time to compound, because the effort you do today may be invisible today, but valuable later. Like a seed under soil, growth happens before it is seen, and discipline is continuing to water what you cannot yet show. Discipline is the bridge because it transforms your identity from someone who wants to someone who builds. Wanting is emotional. Building is behavioral. Wanting can be sincere and still produce nothing. Building produces evidence. And once you become a builder, you stop looking for miracles and start becoming one through your daily standards. This is why discipline changes your life beyond the goal itself. It changes who you are. It teaches you that you can be tired and still show up. You can be afraid and still act. You can be uncertain and still take the next step. You can be disappointed and still return. And those lessons create a confidence that cannot be taken away easily because it is based on lived proof. Discipline is the bridge between goals and success, because success is not just arriving. It is being able to stay there. Discipline is how you maintain what you build. People sometimes reach a result through a burst of effort, but they lose it because they never built the habits that hold it. A healthier body requires maintenance. A better income requires ongoing skill growth. A stronger relationship requires consistent respect and communication. Discipline is what turns a temporary win into a stable lifestyle. If you want to build discipline starting today, it does not begin with a dramatic speech. It begins with one small promise you can keep. Choose one action that is small enough to repeat even on a bad day and meaningful enough to matter. 10 minutes of movement, 20 minutes of learning, 1 page of writing, 1 application, 1 budget check, 1 hour of focused work, and do it daily. Small, kept promises rebuild self-trust, and self-trust makes discipline easier, and discipline makes bigger promises possible. Then build structure around it, schedule it, prepare for it, remove friction, reduce distractions, and tell the truth about your patterns without shaming yourself. Self-honesty is not self-hate. Self-honesty is self-respect. When you respect yourself, you stop accepting low standards, and when you raise your standards, your results rise too. Remember that discipline is not about being harsh, it is about being free. Excuses feel comforting, but they keep you trapped. Discipline feels uncomfortable, but it gives you options. It gives you skill, confidence, stability, and progress. And if you ever doubt whether discipline is worth it, ask yourself a simple question. What is the cost of staying the same? Because the pain of discipline is often smaller than the pain of regret. Discipline is the bridge, and you cross it one step at a time by doing what matters, even when you don't feel like it, until what once felt hard becomes normal, and what once felt impossible becomes your new standard, because that is what happens when you keep walking. Your goals stop being fantasies and start becoming facts, and success stops being a hope and starts becoming a habit.